Disney has spent almost $200 million or so, it's so far reported, on making The Acolyte. However, it seems to have dropped off the ratings charts completely. Let's talk about that on That Park Place. Hello, I am Jonas J. Campbell, an investigative reporter for That Park Place, and here with me is Acolyte watcher, Mr. VashSky. Vash, I think you might be the only person who watched this show.
I think I might actually be, and I'm not better for it. It's terrible, Jonas. It's awful, and I can't wait for it to end. Only 2 more episodes, but maybe those are 7 or 8 episodes too many in terms of what Disney.
I'm just going to point out that despite this article will keep until after the episode airs, but as of this, we have not seen the episode that airs on Tuesday, July 9th. We will have a review of that up on this channel very soon, hopefully before we get this one out, but we'll talk about that later. Star Wars The Acolyte Episode 6 falls off top 10 chart for streaming originals. This by John F. Trent over there at That Park Place. Leslie Headland's The Acolyte fell off a top 10 chart that tracks viewership data for various streaming originals. Look at that. That's the look you get when you just cut your hair with a magma torch right there. As noted by X-User, now it's known data analytics company Luminate released their streaming originals television chart for the week of June 29th through July 4th, 2024, the week that the 6th episode of The Acolyte premiered, and the show is nowhere to be seen on the chart. Let me just emphasize this. Ahsoka in the past appeared on the chart pretty much every week. The lowest show on the chart, Apple TV Plus's Presumed Innocent, clocked in at 282 million minutes watched. I can show you this right now, but I'm going to tell you, all it's going to show you is a whole lot of nothing. Obviously, right here we have streaming originals television. There's already some shenanigans here. Vash, do you see the shenanigans? They're right there at the top of the list.
Let's see here. I have to. Oh, the bear. Okay.
Yeah, the bear. Do you know notice what chart we're on?
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. Originals. Yeah.
We're on streaming originals. The Bear is an FX show that Disney has decided to declare that is a streaming original, even though it's an FX show and was originally an FX show. Now they're saying it is a Hulu show so that they can appear on this chart. Because looking at this right here, they wouldn't be anywhere on this chart if it wasn't for The Bear being classified as Hulu. Anyways, moving on from that and back here, if you didn't notice it, The Acolyte is on neither one of those charts. It's unclear what kind of viewership The Acolyte brought in or whether or not the show saw a decline this week or not. The reason being is that Luminate reported last week that The Acolyte brought in 232 million minutes watched. Given that the lowest show clocked 282 million minutes, it is possible that The Acolyte saw its viewership increase. However, this would defy the quickly forming trend of the show. Here we are, and this, I do believe that Mac would have been the source for this, even though it comes from Luminate. Bridgerton, obviously doing very well. America's Sweethearts, Perfect Wife, Perfect Match. The Boys, that's that show where they finally do a deconstruction of superheroes. We've never had one of those before. Love Island, Presumed Innocent, Bridgerton again? Bridgerton's on here twice? What in the world? And The Acolyte going from 262 down to 232. And that was 11% drop here. So The Acolyte was on the list. Now it's not on the list. Vash, why do you think that is?
Yeah, well, I think the drop off was pretty heavy. I mean, I think we predicted this as well. There might be some genuine curiosity in, what the show might entail when, the first 2 episodes drop. Okay, let's go ahead and turn on some Star Wars. And they turn it on and they go, ooh, that's, I don't know about all that. And then for everybody, kind of in our sphere, roughly, right, who know that maybe episode 3 had some very interesting things happen and obviously had potential repercussions for the entire Star Wars universe, they're thinking, okay, let's watch until episode 3. And then once that happens, and once it's known that, well, we have the thread and we have, what is it, a whole series of things that happen in an episode, it's like, okay, I'm out. And I think that's what happened. I think we predicted this. And I think this is a reflection of that. I believe also too, Nielsen reflected that the first 2 episodes may have premiered at like what, number 6 or number 7 on the streaming originals chart.
You're correct. They did. Actually, I'll go ahead and bring that up. The thing that I wanted to point out here is if you look at this right now, this is the chart. Usually you would just see the entire chart here and the Disney show would be on it right now. And this is the overall chart right here. It has Your Honor, which is actually a Paramount Plus show or a Showtime show that is being put on Netflix. I'm sure most of that viewership is coming from Netflix. Bluey doing very well for Disney Plus. You have to get down here. Grey's Anatomy, again, Hulu and Netflix together. Heartland, Hulu, Netflix, and Peacock together. There is nothing on this chart right here that is straight Disney Plus, other than Bluey, which is not a show that Disney makes. Disney has a licensing agreement to have Bluey on their platform. They did not believe in that show enough to also get the theme park rights when they were offered up. And now you have to go over here all the way just to the streaming originals to see that the Acolyte is number 7 with 488 million watch minutes. I hate to say that's really not that much. It's getting beat out by some documentary on Netflix that is about a TikTok cult. Geek Girl, Evil, Bridgerton, Sweet Tooth, Eric. These are not shows that you would presume would be more in the cultural zeitgeist than Star Wars, but here we are. Vash, I'm going to say this: how much of these millions of watch minutes from the first few episodes are directly attributable to Alan Ng and Chris Gore telling everyone what was in these shows?
Oh, it's got to be what, maybe a third. I mean, literally, people I think had a genuine curiosity because I think they recognized or at least heard that this show was going to be a train wreck. And just like any good train wreck, you can't necessarily look away. Maybe even some people are attracted to that train wreck, and this is what you're seeing right here. I think, what is it, Ahsoka and maybe Andor had maybe similar watch minutes, but the difficulty with that is that what Andor had, 3 episodes in the can by the time that show premiered, and Ahsoka is not nearly as expensive, I don't think, as a show as The Acolyte. This show, I mean, we're around $200 million. Okay, $180 million is the kind of the reported figure out there. That puts it at what, $20 million an episode, or $750,000 per minute of screen time for this show.
They need to make this show shorter. Unfortunately, reducing the number of edited minutes in the show does not decrease the amount that they have spent on it. Oh my goodness! So obviously we haven't seen episode 7 yet. I'm dedicated to watching it because of the Pro Show. I don't even think that I would be reviewing it for this channel if Pro wasn't having us watch it in order to review it for the Acolyte After Party. By the way, those Acolyte After Parties are actually pretty fun. They go into the wee hours of the morning, so I hope people are catching up on them after the fact here. Vash, here's an alternative theory. What if everyone saw those first 2 episodes and they knew that there was a mystery to unravel, and they were, in fact, exercising self-control to say, you know what, I'm too excited. I need to wait. I'm going to wait until the end so that I can watch all of these in one sitting and then watch them all over again. Do you think that might be what's going on here?
Who would ever want to do that with this show? I mean, this show is terrible. It is the mystery portion of it doesn't even play that big of a role. It's much more about the dynamics between these characters, and we know that Leslie Headland has used these stories or archetypes that are featured in the show as analogs for any number of things that she wants to necessarily push, and we'll have more coverage on that Park Place. You rest assured on that. But there's nothing compelling here. There's nothing compelling to keep us going from episode to episode. I think the best episode was like number 5. That was a big battle sequence. Can you honestly tell people, to convince people to watch this show, oh, hey, I know episode 3 is a real, bad acting and bad story, and it's a flashback sequence, but hang on just 2 more because it's a really kind of mediocre action sequence. Honestly, guys, it's that good.
But they're holding lightsabers while they do it, Vash. They're holding lightsabers.
I would have a hard time attempting to persuade anybody to watch this. So no, I don't think necessarily the show did that. I don't think people are holding off to have this thing be completely released in the back end. And if that happens, we'll know about it. We'll see it in the data, but I just don't think it's going to bear out.
I think you're right. Well, but we'll never know until all of this is done and buried, and someone at Disney finally admits that maybe they're not handling Star Wars very well. But that being said, we want to throw this to our commenters. What could happen in that last episode of The Acolyte that would make you say, you know what, I'm going to watch this entire thing? What would have to happen? That's the question that I have for all of you. All right, like this video. If you like this video, hit the notification bell if you want to know as soon as we drop a video. And consider subscribing to That Park Plays for all the news that should be fun.
Thanks for watching That Park Plays News. For more information, consider checking out www.thatparkplace.com. And don't forget to subscribe, share, like, and send this out on your favorite social media account.